Hmm. Hmm. I knew it, I knew it, I knew that this would happen if I let you stay.
Foolish senpai. Now that the adorable Bibi-chan has invaded your Chaldea, you will always be at the control of my fingertips.
Wonderful. Note to self, request routine teleportation pad checks in Chaldea from now on. Alright then, Bibi. You probably didn't do this entirely for fun, as it can be annoying to set the channel up in Chaldea. So, enlighten me. Why have you brought me here?
Ah, how perceptive. A good observation on your part, senpai. Have a gold star.
Ah! That hurt. Just tell me already.
That's no good, senpai. Rushing things too quickly could lead you to make bad decisions. But if you're so inclined, it's because of this.
Oh, right. The Seraph event is coming soon to NA. What about it?
Senpai, isn't it obvious? This event is where I shall make my fabulous debut as the devilish Kohai of many masters to come. As a result, I'll need my own video to help tell all the masters out there about the grade A servant that they should anticipate obtaining.
Aren't you forgetting someone, Bibi?
Hello, Mother. And Master too. Please pardon the intrusion.
Aha! Hello there! Very nice to see the two of you able to make it here. And a big thanks for making an escape route for me.
Don't mention it. My studio! Do you two know how hard it was to set up imaginary number space here in Chaldea?
Honestly, I couldn't care less. But what I do care about is how you didn't bother to mention us when you were pitching your idea to our clearly terrified master.
Actually, I'm a bit too mentally inconsistent to feel fear for more than...
Zip those lips for a bit, senpai. Well, the two of you are gotcha servants, and because of that, the poor masters will have to roll and roll their meager quartz stashes to only have a chance at the two of you. Meanwhile, I, the amazing Bibi-chan, is a free welfare for all masters to enjoy. So, obviously, the masters need to be informed of how to use the servant that they'll actually get.
What? That makes no sense! Shouldn't our master be making a video for the other servants so that the masters can have incentive to invite us here in the first place? You're lucky you can get a reserved seat. We egos want homes too.
Why don't we just ask him to do all three of us? Because otherwise the video would be too long and big. And I don't think Senpai would be bothered to spend so much time making such a high-effort video, especially since he has so much to do nowadays.
Actually, I agree with Lip here. It's a compromise and I don't mind.
What? Senpai, are you sure about this? You need to take care of your own time and well-being too. And if the video's too long, nobody's going to care.
Look, a good fraction of my videos are excessively long anyways, so most viewers that are familiar with me probably won't be surprised. Also, I'm really good at giving myself a bit too much work that can easily overburden me, despite knowing that it is very likely that I could very easily not be able to achieve my own high expectations, and end up crashing all my projects as well as my life anyways. So, at this point, what's another project to add on to the overbearing weight that I keep increasing, right? Right? So yeah, I don't mind. If that makes you all happy, I'll do my best. Is that alright for the both of you?
Well, if Senpai really doesn't mind, then I guess it's fine.
I guess that works for me too if Master isn't bothered by it.
Alrighty then. Thanks for the idea, Lip. You really saved my man bacon back there.
Thank you. I'm so glad I could help.
Hello, fellow Chaldean Masters. I'm the Man Pig, and I'm here to tell you that soon we'll be facing another wonderful crossover collab event known as Seraph, which is the Fate Extra CCC collab event. As a huge Type Moon fan, these crossover events are my personal favorites, as they are what allow many beloved characters to become summonable as servants that otherwise wouldn't be able to be done as such. So I'm always looking forward to them. This one is no exception, as the Fate Extra CCC event is also filled with a lot of great characters that aren't actual people from Legend. Of course, here, I'll be talking about 3 of my favorite purple plums. Say hi, everyone!
Hello, all you gullible masters out there. This is your wonderful devilish Kohai speaking, BB-chan herself. Please do your best to entertain me, future senpais.
Right. Hello there, dear masters. I'm Meltryllis, an alter ego. People usually call me Melt, so if that's easier for you, feel free to use that instead. A pleasure to be acquainted.
Hi. My name is Passionlip, but you can call me Lip if you like. It's nice to meet you, masters. I hope we can get along.
As you can probably guess, these are going to be the servants that will become available during the event for you to obtain. And because of that, they're going to be joining me as I break down their abilities, tell you how to use them optimally, and why you should aim to get them in the first place.
Which you should. I'll give you senpais a bit of a little preview. My abilities are far superior to that of many servants, and little can offer what I am able to provide.
Quiet, you. You're not the only one here with unique abilities. Both me and Lip can hold our own quite well too, you know.
I think each of us have different talents from each other. Instead of comparing against each other directly, I think we should look at the strengths we can offer instead, don't you think?
Thank you, Lip. That is my language. I'm really glad you can understand that certain servants shouldn't be directly compared just because they're similar in certain ways.
Oh! Thank you, Master.
That's fair, I guess. Then tell us, who are we looking at first?
Well, if it's not a big problem, I was thinking we'd look at BB first.
How smart of you. Of course you'd recognize that your lovely Kohai is the one that deserves the spotlight first.
What? Why?
Well, simply put, BB wasn't really wrong. She's the welfare of this event, and is both unique and important. Don't worry, Melt. Your turn will come. And I thought you knew that there was no way I'd neglect you if I had the chance.
Fine. I understand. Let's get along with it.
Alright then. Well, BB's got the most to talk about, so I'll break things down one by one. First off, as a welfare, any master has the ability to obtain her, so get her ASAP. Get all of her ascension materials, and NP5 her as soon as humanly possible.
That's exactly right. The amazing BB-chan is available for all masters to enjoy. I won't ask for any quartz or tickets, unlike most other servants.
Shut up!
However, in turn, there's a bit of a catch. Would you mind sharing to everyone what that is, my dear senpai?
Of course. First off, the Seraph event requires you to have beaten Solomon. That's right, if you haven't finished part 1, you won't be able to play this event. At all. You can still roll the gachas, but there will be no BB for you. Secondly, the fact that you have to beat Solomon is not just for show. This event is no joke. This shit is hard. Heck, you might be able to make the argument that outside of challenge quests, this is the hardest that Fate Grand Order has gotten so far, even including the JP server. So if you're going to fight, you better make sure you got your servants prepared and have a solid plan. Otherwise, you're going to fail, and you won't be able to obtain your BB.
That's precisely correct. Only the most seasoned and skilled of masters may have the honor of calling me their Kohai, so you puny masters will have to prove yourselves first.
Unfortunately, that is true. However, upon proving that you can earn BB's favor, your efforts will not go unrewarded, because guess what? BB is fucking amazing. She's one of the best welfares in the game so far, even in JP, and is comparable to beasts like Shiki, Kintoki, and Chloe, and it's not hard to see why. First off, BB, let's talk about your class.
How flattering to hear all this from senpai. But it's true. It's all true. As requested, I'll talk about my class, Moon Cancer. Here's a little fact. BB is the only Moon Cancer to ever exist. Only me. No other living being qualifies for the class, meaning BB-chan has a class all to herself. There might be another version of me as a Moon Cancer, but I'm free! This BB-chan is a Moon Cancer for all the gullible masters in the world. So this is an easy chance for having an extremely rare, unique class.
Correct. The Moon Cancer class is strong against Avengers, along with the final boss of the CCC event. So, if you have a pesky Dark and Saint in your way, BB will help you clear them all out.
With ease. However, rulers are my weakness. So if you see any holy saints or a delusional madman out there, maybe don't send me into battle. I'm an amazing Kohai, but while I'm close to perfect, I'm not quite there yet.
Yee. But in any case, let's talk about her gameplay. BB is an all-rounder offensive servant, being an arts crit hybrid, and she plays the role really well. She has pretty good hit counts on all cards that need them, and slightly above average star gen too. She has a high HP stat for her rarity, but a lower attack stat, so do remember to rely on those crits for more damage. Still, it's hardly an obstacle, especially with her skills in action.
Of course it isn't. Those skills are great. All you future senpais better pay attention. For passives, I have magic resistance and item construction to help receive debuffs and deal them a bit better, as well as territory creation, which helps with my NP gen, because, you know, I am arts-based. As for active skills, my dear senpai was talking about my third skill, Self-Modification X. It's the exact same skill as that famous Avenger everyone loves fawning over, so you know it's the real deal. My other skills are good too. My stun is pretty solid as long as you level it, and it's also guaranteed to remove any invincibility or evasion buffs. That's right, nobody's escaping damage from me. Finally, my first skill shows my side as a nurse. I'll fix all your illnesses with a debuff removal that also acts as a pretty strong heal at max level, and to top it off, I grant debuff immunity just in case they might need it later on. Pairing this with servants that have debuffs with their abilities like the reanimated corpse of the magical girl would be an ideal choice. Plus, it also has a 4-turn cooldown, so you won't need to hesitate too much about using this skill, and, as much as I'd hate to admit it, it pairs really well with that Fox's noble phantasm for a lower cooldown, so put the two of us together on a team if you must.
Great descriptions! As you can see, BB functions as an offensive servant that also has some nice support effects. Combined with her star gen and NP gen, it makes her a jack of all trades that fits into most teams. However, that's not all, as BB also comes with a very good single target arts noble phantasm, CCC. Upon usage, BB will change into her cute nurse outfit and inject any unfortunate target with a bunch of random malicious things, dealing damage and decreasing their debuff resistance too. Finally, as an added bonus, it also charges the party's NP gauge by 20% upon usage, which just shows how ideal BB fits into arts teams as she does.
Indeed, pairing me with arts crit servants like that chic girl, the depressed counter guardian, or Arthur in a swimsuit, my strengths will benefit you very greatly. And because of my diverse gameplay, many CEs can fit me. Attack up CEs, NP charge CEs, star CEs. As long as it's not Buster, I can probably run it. To mirror this, if you do get my favor, my bond, 10 CE, increases all card effectiveness by 8% for the entire party. So, all in all, feel free to experiment with your teams and offerings, and marvel at just how wild your Kohai can play.
Indeed! And with that, we conclude with BB's spotlight. As you can see, BB is a very flexible and useful art servant that can also fit into crit teams, which is highly appreciated considering that she's one of 2 servants in her class. All in all, she's a top tier welfare, and absolutely worth getting and leveling should you manage to triumph against her. However, there is not merely just one Sakura face in this event, but 3. So of course, let's talk about the other 2. Now, unlike the welfare BB, these 2 share a gacha rate-up banner with Suzuka Gozen in this event. However, unlike Suzuka Gozen, both of them are limited, including the 4-star. So you must roll them during this banner or another rate-up if you want them in your Chaldea. First off, let's talk about what makes them unique from most other servants. Just like BB, they are a new class we haven't seen before, and while there will be many other servants that also take up the class later on, these 2 still hold up very well against them. But without further ado, let's tell everyone what this class is.
That we shall do. The Alter Ego class is a very unique class for any masters to wield, and that's because we are able to fell many opponents. All cavalry classes and berserkers are weak to us egos, so we can dispatch them with ease. What's more, we take neutral damage from everything except berserkers, so class advantage isn't something you have to worry about too much from a survivability standpoint.
Actually, while that may be true, us egos have a hard time against the night classes. We still take neutral damage from them, but when we attack them, our attacks are resisted. So you might want to think about that first. Also, there's going to be a class in the future known as the Foreigner class, and we have a pure advantage against them. We resist their attacks and deal great damage to them. So if you find a threat against humanity like them, egos like us are a great choice.
A fine description from the both of you. As you can tell, the Alter Ego is a great class, as they are essentially half a Berserker with none of the fragility, making them an ideal servant to use for beginners, as they cover a lot of potential enemy classes. Another thing to note is that they only require pieces and monuments to ascend, so beginners will have an easier time raising them. All in all, the Alter Ego is a fantastic class to have for any player, and having one will make your life a lot easier. With that, let's talk about the 4-star Alter Ego. Come up here, Passionlip.
Hello, everyone. As we've already said, I'm an Alter Ego, and while Mother is arts-based, I'm completely based on Buster, meaning if you want to hit for tons of damage with powerful hits, I'm very good at doing that.
Indeed, Lip has a very high attack stat for a 4-star, which when combined with her Alter Ego class and full Buster deck, she is a damage queen. However, her HP isn't as high, so definitely try to watch for her survivability as well. Another effect with her gameplay is that her NP Gen and Star Gen aren't amazing, especially her NP Gen, so I highly recommend bringing other servants to fill in those shortcomings. Basically, think of her as an average Berserker, full of damage and very simple to use. Oh shit, sorry Lip.
No, it's not wrong. I've learned to accept that part of me. As Master says, my abilities are rounded on breaking and smashing things. That's what I'm good at and how I was made. Being simple and just dealing damage. It's nothing too special.
Now that's just not true. For one, your skills are great. Just show them off.
Okay. In terms of passives, I have a lot. I have presence concealment and independent action. So even though I only have one quick card, I'll do my best to make stars with 3 hits, and if you do give me crits, I can do good damage with them. I also have Goddess Essence, which lets me do more damage, and combined with my magic resistance, it means I have a high debuff resist. As for active skills, I have an ability to get rid of trash in the form of my Breast Valley skill. It allows me to cut damage received 3 times for 5 turns, as well as make me immune to debuffs 3 times for 5 turns. This pairs well with my second skill, Masochistic Constitution. Why are these skills so embarrassingly named?
It's because they're true. But regardless of name, they're still strong. This one especially.
I guess so. This skill allows me to taunt the enemy for 1 turn, as well as increase my defense for that turn as well. After we bond through an interlude too, it also increases my attack if I'm under 50% HP. And the lower my HP, the more damage I deal. So that makes me very strong to make up for any weaknesses I might have. It's on a low cooldown too, so you can have some levity on deciding when to use it. And finally, my last skill is a very strong one. It can increase both my attack and defense for 3 turns, as well as giving me a tiny chance to instantly kill an enemy 1 time, and finally, break through any invincibility. This means if you have an enemy that you can't kill during that turn, I can help you break through those defenses. However, this skill is tiring to use, so I might need to rest before using it.
Unfortunately so. However, if you've noticed, all of Lip's skills work extremely well in tandem with each other. For instance, her taunt skill pairs extremely well with her other skills as they both increase defense, possibly allowing Lip to tank through enemy attacks full sail. And her first skill's debuff immunity can remove the problem of her third skill's stun, allowing the skill to have essentially no demerit. Basically, Lip's skills are made in a way to be used in a consecutive order of 1, 2, 3. Overall, her skills are fantastic, but only if you make them work together, as they let her both take hits for the party and deal major damage as well with her full buster deck. However, her skills do not support her star gen or NP gain, so definitely bring other servants to fix those parts as well. They're still great regardless, and speaking of great things, there's Lip's awesome Noble Phantasm.
Thank you. My Noble Phantasm is Brynhilda Romantia. It's a 12-hit buster Noble Phantasm that hits all enemies, and also heals the party for an overcharge effect, meaning this is both a good damaging Noble Phantasm as well as a supportive one.
Correct! Passionlip is essentially a simple but strong servant that hits very hard, as well as tank very hard too. With the utility of strong defenses, taunts, attack buffs, and buster deck, she hits an interesting balance and does a really good job at being both great at offense and defense. She might be simple, but she's very strong and very easy to use. Yet, she's not so simple to the point where you can just play her well without strategy.
As for good CE recommendations, I would suggest passive MP gen recharge CEs like Prisma Cosmos, as they fix my lack of NP gain. But if you want to focus on my strong damage, Buster Buff CEs will also make you happy. Powerful teammates to use with me include the common ones, as strong, simple servants like me are the type that they are the best at supporting.
Finally, her Bond CE greatly increases party damage, but also decreases debuff resist for the party as well. Personally, I think this is a great CE for her, as the demerit is negligible since debuffs almost always hit anyways. Plus, since she fits into Buster meme teams well, this only makes everyone hit harder.
Yes! If you do roll for me and let me stay in your Caldia, I'll be very grateful. I'm not a very delicate servant, and I realize my hands can break things very easily. As I'm a monster. But even so, I hope that despite this, despite my monstrous body, I want to do my best as your ally, to be able to support a brave master like you and for once, be able to help people instead of hurt them. So please, consider bringing me to your home as well.
You're not a monster, Lip. Not anymore, at least. The fact that you can say this means you've learned since then, and those were the exact steps you needed to take in order to improve as a person. Look, you might have not have been born as a human, but you've grown further into one, and that's what matters in the end. So, hear that, Masters? Do your best to take care of Lip, because she deserves your care. She really does.
Master, I'm very happy to hear that from you. Thank you very much.
I'm just being honest. And with that, that's Lip's spotlight completed. But of course, we aren't done yet. Finally, to finish this trio of Sakurafaces, we of course have the graceful 5-star alter ego. Please enter Meltryllis.
Finally, it's my time to shine. How mean of you, Master, making me wait so long like this.
Hey, I'm sorry. But remember, you're the 5-star, and we obviously have to save the best one for last, don't we?
Naturally. Anyway, as I've already said, I'm also an alter ego. And while BB is arts, Lip is Buster, my fighting style mostly revolves around quick gameplay. I do have a quick and Buster-based deck, meaning I can do some damage at the cost of a better MP gen. But overall, I promise you I can play the role of an offensive quick servant very well.
She's right. Her star gen isn't amazing, but with her 4-hit quick card, she does the job really well, I assure you. And her NP gain isn't that bad either. Both her HP and attack stats are relatively average for a 5-star, which in itself is a good thing because that means she can strike a balance between offense and defense with these stats, something that's also mirrored in her skills. Speaking of, take it away, Melt.
As you wish, Master. In terms of passives, I've got riding and independent action. For a quick servant, they're good, don't you think? I also have magic resistance and goddess essence, both which increase my debuff immunity quite a bit, and my damage too. For active skills, my first active skill is Crime Ballet, a fighting style created by myself with my own creativity and to cater to my unique abilities.
It's because she likes ballet dancers.
So what? As I was saying, it allows me to evade 2 attacks for 3 turns, as well as generate critical stars. Think of it as a better instinct skill. Secondly, I have a 3-turn attack buff. It does the job, however I do become more vulnerable for 3 turns as well. So consider pairing it with my Crime Ballet if you want to keep me safe. Finally, I have the Meltryllis, the strongest form of energy drain in the Moon Cell. With it, I will reduce the NP damage of everyone, both enemies and allies alike, for 1 turn. And the next turn, I'll gain an NP damage up. It's a very risky skill to use, and I highly recommend you coordinate well with other servants so that they won't feel the demerits of my Meltryllis. If the other servants are supports, then it won't matter. But for servants that want to attack an enemy, don't order them to use their Noble Phantasm when the virus is active. Also, after a strengthening quest, my NP damage buff will go from being active after 1 turn into outright being active for 2 turns, as well as getting stronger per level. So it's definitely a strong skill if timed correctly.
And that's pretty much Melt in a nutshell. Timing and coordination are the key things to think about when it comes to Melt's skills, as they're very tied in between each other and other units in the field to be used optimally. When used in said optimal conditions, they're good, but you can't just activate these skills willy-nilly. You need to put thought into their usage, and once you do, you can draw out her full potential.
You explain well, Master. However, something easier to understand is my Noble Phantasm. If the skills might be hard to use, I promise you, my Noble Phantasm is it. Saraswati Meltdown. It's a single target 8-hit quick Noble Phantasm that not only increases my own quick performance as an overcharge effect, but also removes all enemy buffs after usage. So if you have any chimeras or spriggans that stack their buffs, call me in. I'll waste all their efforts in a single instant.
Indeed she will. And my god, does she not have one of the best looking Noble Phantasms that you've ever seen?
Right, and that's... Wait, what did you say?
It's just the truth. Seriously, it's one of my favorites. Look at her quick movements, fellow masters. Her grace, rapid speed, and force into strike. In my honest opinion, it's actually beautiful. And every time she shoots it off, I just marvel at the spectacle she pulls off.
What do I even say to that?
Oh. Bond 10. Perfect time to talk about that, I guess. Her Bond 10C increases her quick performance and critical performance by a relatively large amount. However, as a demerit, she decreases her ally's critical chance by 10%. It's a demerit, but honestly, when considering the effects of the CE, I'd say it's overall still worth using. As for other CEs, standard quick CEs like Imaginary Round would work well, of course, or if you want her to shoot her NP off faster, NP gain CEs like Divine Banquet will work great. Imperial Capital Holy Grail War is the one I recommend the most, as it fits with her gameplay almost perfectly in most circumstances. Overall, Melt might take a bit of timing and skill to use, but once you're able to use her well, she's absolutely amazing in action, and a fantastic alter ego to have on your side.
That's right. For our other teammates to pair with me, other quick-based servants do well, of course, but I can also act as a decent star generator for buster teams due to my deck. Most Lancers have a similar deck to mine, so you can consider them as well. Finally, the goddess Scatty is a fantastic teammate with me, and she can pretty much provide me with everything I need to become an amazing top-tier servant. Other masters listening to me, you are humans, so I regret to inform you that you shouldn't expect us to get close. But I won't deny your hospitality if you're willing to provide it to me. If you do so, I'll serve you as a strong servant, and I'll break anyone in your path. So if you want my strength, please consider me as well.
She's just a bit shy. She'll love your company, trust me. Anyway, with that, we've covered all 3 of the Sakura servants coming in the upcoming Fate Extra CCC event. If you couldn't tell, all 3 of them are fantastic servants, and you really should aim to get them. Each of them specialize in diverse sets of gameplay, so you'll find 1 or 2 units that can fit well into your teams. Whether it's BB and her unique Moon Cancer class, or one of the 2 alter egos to steamroll the cavalry classes, you'll find many uses for them, and they are absolutely worth rolling your quartz for.
That's right. But again, if the gacha doesn't grant you the others, you pitiful masters don't need to cry. Unlike others, I'll be there as long as you clear the event.
Can it? At least we don't ask the masters to clear one of the hardest events out there.
Masters, please remember that you need to clear Solomon to participate in the event. And the event will be very hard, so prepare yourself and do your best.
Alright, with that, the video's done. Thanks for helping me with this, everyone. As much time as it took, it was fun.
I'm glad to be of help to you, Master.
Of course it was. After all, you have the marvelous BB-chan by your side. I make everything more fun and enjoyable by just being there.
That's debatable. Really, debatable. Oh, I think that's my order.
Your order? What do you mean by that?
I may or may not have asked people to send some figures using the ray shift system. After all, I have my hobbies.
Oh, heck, new figures? Melt, I've got to see them. Our figure collection grows!
Indeed it shall, silly boy.
Wait for me, guys!
Hey, don't leave me alone here!